So you want to be a good man. Difficult to know what that means these days. The last 10 years I've been trying to define that because I grew up without much guidance on what it meant to be a man, never mind a good man. But I'm defining it now. I'm drawing on a lot of ancient culture, history, philosophy in order to understand that, to orient myself properly toward manhood and toward my society, to fulfill my roles as a father, a husband, business owner, and other community roles. And it goes like this. In order for us to have a good world, we need to have elders who can teach us how to be good people. But we'll never have good elders unless we've had leaders who've gained their stripes, they've gained the wisdom to be able to be classed as elders. We're never going to have good leaders until we have good men. Another way to say that is good peasants, and that is a word that people don't like, but you're a peasant. If you're watching this video, you're likely a peasant. So, we have to be good peasants before we can become good leaders, patriarchs, and then maybe eventually we'll become good elders. Now, the work at each of those levels is different. It's all about self-control. It's all about learning and growth and gaining wisdom. For the elder, it's a very deeply inner spiritual quest that they're on to encounter the deepest, darkest recesses of themselves and to learn how to counter that in the world. Big work. For the patriarch, it's about not allowing the temptations around them to influence how they think and feel. This is truly what a knight is. Not somebody who's without impure thoughts and feelings, but somebody who is in the pursuit of conquering those impure thoughts and feelings. And there's a big question here around what good and bad is, what the things are we should aim for, what the things are we should avoid. We've got a very confused culture around this. It's leading people to have mediocre and pathetic lives. It's no good. But the work at the man stage, the peasant, is to not allow the temptations around them to control their physical behaviours. So we're getting more material, more obvious in the work that needs to be done. So to be a good man, you must have conquered all of your bad physical habits. Eating the food you shouldn't eat. Wasting your energy on porn. Pursuing greedy material outcomes when you are damaging the lives of others around you. And lots of other examples. All the things that we determine to be bad behaviours need to go. And we need to be pursuing actively good behaviours. We can get into that another time. So you might say, well, I don't want to be teetotal, or I really like cake though, or there's nothing wrong with porn. Fine. But what I'm telling you is, if that's how you want to live, you will be a peasant forever. And your objection to that might be, well, okay, I'm a peasant. I'm fine with being a peasant. But being a peasant means you're going to be told what to do by other people. But unfortunately, leadership in a nation or in the world is only as good as the people they lead, because the leaders come from the people. They are slightly elevated, perhaps in some ways, but if everybody is indulging in terrible thoughts and feelings and behaviours, then so will the leaders be. That's just how it works. So, if you want to be a peasant, fine, but you are condemning yourself to a life of servitude, whether you see the chains or not. And the people pulling on the chains, invisible as they may be, are probably not going to be very good people. And this is how we end up in totalitarian regimes. And tyranny is in charge. So it's up to you. You want to be a peasant? Fine. But you're damaging yourself. You're damaging all the people around you. And the worst thing about it is, you could probably pretend that you're not. So what does it mean to be a good man? No bad physical behaviours. And in the Noble's Path, that's what we're working on. And it's not a switch you can flick. It's not an overnight success sort of thing. There may be moments of revelation, of inspiration, where you get on top of everything all at once. But otherwise, it might be a slow and iterative process, and that's fine. Learning and growing all the way toward that outcome. And the most beautiful thing about this is, the moment you have control of those physical behaviours, you become a patriarch. You start to access the work required to grow as a noble man, truly noble man. And like I said, that's not about being a fully realized leader who's not capable of anything bad ever. You will always be a flawed human being. But the work changes. You're now in pursuit of not allowing the temptations around you to control you in terms of your thoughts and feelings. So the man, independent from physical bad behavior. Let's get into it.